Good morning, welcome back to another video. My name is Destiny and it is actually Friday. I don't usually film a what sold on Friday, but we are here because yesterday was Juneteenth, so we didn't have a USPS mail, and I had some decent sales, like a number of sales come in, so I thought I would just share them with you guys. I did do a poll about possibly doing a day in the life, and that seemed popular, but my husband ended up having to work unexpectedly, so I don't actually know how much I'll get done. I did film a montage or time lapse of me pulling all my orders and packing up my Depop sales. So I don't know. I was thinking about starting the video with that, so you've probably already seen that. But I don't know actually how much other reseller work I'll get done today, so I'll probably just stick with the what sold for this time. I do have 2 orders from Boutique by the Box coming, and then I'm going to be doing a collab of another box that I'm pretty excited about opening up with someone else. So that should be coming out in a few weeks once it gets delivered and we pick a date and everything. So I will have more videos coming out for you guys, and then on Monday, of course, I will have my regular what sold. But we're going to jump into this. I had sales on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. So you actually already saw me do the Depop ones, but I'll tell you what they were. These are Royal Monk, really cute heels, like retro heels. These came from a Helpsy ModCloth shoebox. My 3 sons are playing upstairs. My daughter went to hang out with her grandma just next door, so the boys will probably sound crazy. But these I paid around $7 per pair in that box. These sold for $33.15 plus shipping on Depop, and Depop has very low fees, so I boost my entire shop on Depop, and that boosting fee is just kind of like promoted listings on eBay. So it was $3.29, and then they have a payment processing fee of $1.81, so about $5 for fees on Depop, and then they paid shipping. So anyway, this is going to Bronx, New York. I did have someone comment on my last video saying it might be weird for people to, like if it's a really small town, maybe someone knowing what they're ordering, but I feel like my channel doesn't get enough views that I'm not giving away any information as far as people's names or anything. I'm pretty careful about usernames even, so hopefully that is not an invasion of anyone's privacy. So Bronx, New York for that one. And then this is a this is just a Ralph Lauren or Polo Ralph Lauren, I can't remember. It's like a preppy button front yellow slim fit shirt, and this sold for $20 on Depop. This had so much interest right away, and it's going to San Diego, California. I had a pretty lowball offer on it, and then I countered it, and I think was she the one that accepted it? No, she offered me 20 because I had it listed at 30, and that came in my recent ThreadUp 200 pounds unboxing. So excited about that. All right, so those are good to go. As you saw in the video, I go ahead and ship those first because I almost made a mistake in that one. I picked the wrong thing with address. Luckily, caught it ahead of time. But I use Pirate Ship and my own shipping because Depop shipping is kind of expensive for the labels that are, my dog just came in here, that are over £1. Like a 2-pound label for the customer is $11.69, which is pretty obnoxious in my opinion. So I usually just do a flat rate shipping on Depop. But all right, moving on, let's go over here. I have 8 eBay sales. I last shipped Wednesday afternoon or like lunchtime. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to start on Poshmark, I think. So this is a pair of On Clouds. This is the Cloud Runner Cloud 5. So I don't think this is a super new style. These are size women's 6.5. I got these last weekend at a church sale, and all the shoes were like $2 or $1. I think everything was $1, or the shoes were $2. I can't remember off the top of my head, but $1 to $2. The comps on these were not as high as some, and I did throw these in the washing machine first because they had some dirt on them, but otherwise in really good condition. Someone offered me 20 right away on eBay. I had them listed at 50, and I declined that. And then someone offered me 35 on Depop, which I did accept, but if you didn't know this, offers on Depop are not binding, so person did not have to pay, and they did not in time because someone on Poshmark offered me 42, and since they were listed at 50, that was a great price. So happy with that. Especially for, I make $33.60 after fees and paying, let's say $2, $31.60 profit in just a couple days. And all I had to do was throw them in the washing machine and take photos. They were actually like, there was quite a few people at the sale, and my sister-in-law and I were digging through like this huge trailer full of clothes, but they had shoes in boxes. Yes. Yes. On the table. Anyway, they had some boxes of shoes and nobody was digging in those, and these were like towards the bottom of one of the boxes. So anyway, this is going to Raytown, Missouri. If you're new to my videos, for Poshmark, I just use the priority stuff. All right, and let's see what's next here. This sold this morning. This is a Puma. I think I had one of these in my last what sold video. If not, let me see what day that sold. No. Okay, so it's kind of funny. I had two of these from Boutique by the Box. Someone the other day offered me $10 for it. I accepted, but then I marked that as sold out and did it again because the person had liked the item and I didn't want them constantly getting offers and stuff. So I just marked that as sold out, went on Vendu and relisted it as a new listing so that way I wouldn't get any weird stuff with the Poshmark policies. And it sold, I had it listed for $22. Posha VA sent out a 20% off offer with discounted shipping, which is what every light gets in my closet. And someone purchased it and it was only listed like another day, which is funny because, you know, they didn't sell for a long time. Well, I mean, a few months or so. Anyway, yes. You all play together, okay? Okay, and this is going to Castleton, New York. Apparently there are some issues about sharing going on upstairs. Yeah. All right. And I have had comments before, I will say this one more time, about shipping hats and poly mailers. I've never had a complaint. If it was a hat I thought would get damaged, I would definitely ship it in a box. So just putting that out there. Here is a pitiful sale. These had been listed over 1,000 days. Came in a ThreadUp denim box a long time ago. If you see the plain background on the picture, that was before I had my office. I've been dropping the prices. That's been my new strategy. And today's Friday, so I'm actually going to do this today. I've been relisting all morning. I actually had a bunch of stuff come up that was over 60 days old. I use Vendu, and they have a thing on there, the part of the software that you can, the dog thinks she wants to play in here, to mark stuff that when it'll show you a little banner on it when it's over 60 days old. So I'm relisting all that, and then today I will go in probably in an hour or so and drop the prices on all my stale inventory. So saying that, these are a pair of Leo Roma jeans. I've never heard of this brand. They're a size juniors 3. They were like a low-rise flare boot cut thing. I don't know, I thought they were interesting style. But these sold for $8 with discounted shipping, so I make $2.73. But they are out of my life after 1,000 plus days. And these are going to Los Fresnos, Texas. And honestly, that's just when I started using Chris and Kathy from Ginger Marvin's spreadsheet. So they could have possibly even listed longer than that. Evie, no. My dog thinks she needs to come in here and play with this doll that is hers. I can show you all. It has a hard head, so it like makes quite a bit of noise. So when you hear that in the background, that's her just having a little playtime. It's either that or send her upstairs to fight with the boys. So we're going to keep moving on. All right, next is a Title IX dress. This I picked up at the 2 for You sale, which was after I did a consignment sale. One of my perks was getting to go and shop everything that was going to get donated for $2. So I grabbed this dress, and my computer has decided to stop working. Why does this happen every time I try to film a video? Come on. All right, I'm going to pause. It looks like I'm going to have to restart my computer, so give me just a minute. Okay, That took longer than it needed to. But anyway, as I was saying, this Title IX dress, a consignment sale where I paid $2 per piece, and this sold for $22 with discounted shipping. That sale was back in March, I believe it was. So this had been listed a little while. The bad part is, you guys, I haven't even finished listing everything from that. And I get, I list as much as I can, but I'm only one person. And being a mom of 4 kids, I try to list 10 to 15 items per day, but that does not happen all the time. So I do my best. But anyhow, this is going to Heathsville, Virginia. Title IX is a pretty good brand for, it's like a golf brand, obviously. The dresses seem to do really well. I've sold a skirt, I think, but for $2, I wasn't going to leave it. All right, next, this sold pretty fast. This is a J. Crew 100% silk skirt in a size 0. This came also in my new ThreadUp 200 pounds I just got. I have it listed at 30, but when someone offered me 15, I went ahead and accepted that because it was a size 0. And I have another J. Crew silk skirt I've had listed for quite some time and it hasn't sold. So I decided to just go ahead and take the offer. I am hoping to offer you all, I've listed quite a few things from my ThreadUp 200 pounds, and I'm going to be photographing more today. I'm going to try to photograph 15-ish items like normal, maybe from that, maybe from something else, but I'm hoping to update you all in like 60 days from when I started listing of how that's going. So this is going to Sugar Land, Texas. What else do we have? The rest of these eBay, no. Okay, so I need to grab a bag for this. Last week when it was a couple weeks ago when I said I went, if you've watched some of my videos, I went to some yard sales, couldn't find anything. Finally went to a church sale and picked up 3 things. This driftwood jacket is so pretty. It was one of them. But once I got it to photograph, it had, unfortunately, a stain. I have my lights off in here, so the glare is not too bad, but there's like this big grease stain and another one right here. They're not super noticeable, but they are there and they are noticeable. So I did try washing it with Dawn and all that. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get it off. So I decided to just list and disclose. These jackets usually sell for like $40-ish. I felt like that was a pretty substantial flaw in my opinion. So I listed at $20 to $25 and someone offered me $12. I'd only paid $1 for it. So I decided to go ahead and just recoup my investment, especially since this is a jacket and I don't want to keep it all year until fall. But just so you know, Driftwood is a good brand, and this jacket it already got attention even with the flaw. I had some other watchers and things. So maybe a bolo to look out for. I don't know. But this jacket with the flaw was not it. But we made a $8 profit and I'm moving on with my life. I didn't even have a chance to put this away yet. That's why it wasn't in a bag. I did this morning while the kids were playing, while I was doing my relisting. Mercari's being kind of weird with Vendu. So I got all the Mercari stuff fixed that I could, and then I'll have some more in a little bit because I relisted some more. I'll go ahead and fix that, and then I entered in like 20, 25 items into my spreadsheet to put away in the boxes, so I'll do that later. This is going to Montgomery, Alabama. All right, is that... Okay, we have one item left, and I was saving this for last because I had to put a box together. So this is a 2-piece bundle. This is a pair of Danner boots, which is a Bolo brand. I would check the style. You can kind of see on the bottom there. These were actually my husband's, and he got them on clearance, I think on Amazon, and he just didn't like the way they fit, and he's had them a while, so he cleaned them up a little bit, but I told him not to worry about it too much. I just went ahead and listed them for him with the understanding that I would give him the money for these, even though he probably owes me a little bit for listing them. But these have been listed just one day. I listed them at $125. Comps were kind of all over and as low as $40, but I wanted to list them high. And then the person bundled those and a pair of the Piranha shorts from Healthy Source. I have $6.76 into those. And the bundle came to $164 and he offered me $120, which I thought was totally fair. So I accepted that. My husband and I will make some kind of payment plan once I get paid. This is a tape warning. I'm going to pull the tape off here. I know some people do not like that. I'll go ahead and put my microphone over here. I had someone tell me she wanted to watch my videos, but she couldn't because I was too loud with tape. And I told her I was sad to see her go, but there wasn't a lot I could do about that. And she told me that I wasn't very kind, basically, and I was too dismissive of her issues. But I mean, I can't please everyone. I'm just gonna have to do my shipping the way I do it. I try to be courteous, but I didn't think I was being dismissive. I'm not going to get in the comments and fight with people or beg people to watch my channel. This is something I do for fun and to break up motherhood. So this is going to Lincolnville, Maine. So I don't think this is over 5 pounds, but these boots are pretty heavy. I probably should have checked this first. Okay, yeah, we're right at 4 pounds. So, all right, that is all I had for Poshmark. So let's go on over to eBay, where I have 8 sales. And then I should be able to go up and put the baby down for a nap and hopefully edit this video while I make lunch. That is the plan, but we'll see if that happens. So, first thing on eBay, I'll go ahead and do my spiel. These are shipping hit mailers. I did just order. She has a sale going right now. You can pick 4 designs for $30. It's 100 mailers, so. And I think my code does work on top. No, it doesn't. The code doesn't work on that, but it works on other things. So. And the shipping's free. Anyway, these are carved designs. And this is a pretty good brand. It's not like super high-end, but it's sold at places like REI. I got these at Goodwill for $4.88. These are a corduroy pant. Someone offered me $20 this morning, which honestly was a little lower than I wanted, but I'm ready to move them out. Like I said, they were corduroy, so again, I don't want to keep them until fall. And I only had $4.88 into them, so still making a decent profit and happy to move them to a new home. Keep thinking I hear like the big truck my husband works in coming home, like they work in a box truck, but they're just doing something in tractors outside. And these are going to Middlebury, Connecticut. I'm pretty excited for my new mailers, honestly. I picked out some cute ones. All right, next are these Victoria's Secret thigh highs. These came from Rachel at Wholesale Thrift. I've been linking her YouTube, or no, her Instagram or her, whatever it is, down below. I think it's her Facebook page. If you're interested in ordering from her, I don't have an affiliate. Like, I don't get anything for sending you all to her. I just really like her, so. And actually, she did tell me that since I've sent, several of you all have purchased from her now, that she could, you know, throw in a few extra things in my boxes when I order, but, you know, I'm not worried about that too much. She's just really good at, what do you call that? Quality control and bread and butter items. If you're like me and you have to stay home, you don't get to thrift as much as you like, it's really nice to have store filler. And this is going to Idaho Falls, Idaho. These sold, if I didn't say, for $12 plus shipping. Man, that was loud outside. Okay, so my husband just texted me. They're on their way home, so I don't have to keep looking outside. This was a quick sale. Nope. Oh, that's the train going by. If you've watched before, I live and the train is like right outside my house. So anyway, these are American Eagle. They're called, and then they're the Strigid line, which for me does really well. It's like on the back of American Eagle jeans, there'll be, you know, it says American Eagle on the inner like band, and then underneath it, it says Strigid. Does really well for me. These were the stovepipe jean in a size 12, and they had like busted knees. I grabbed these at that same yard sale as the On Clouds. So I think I know I paid $28 for everything there. I need to write that down too. I have a thing here for taxes. Let's see, what was last weekend? That would have been 6. I think it was the 13th. And I spent $28. So anyway, spent $28 on everything. So just with the On Clouds, I'm back in the green. And I think something else already sold this week from that same sale. But anyway, someone offered me $17.42, which I thought was interesting. But I'm sure it added up to some kind of even amount for them. And I accepted that because, let's be honest, American Eagle jeans, you're not going to get top dollar for most of the time. And I was happy to, like I said, move these. And I had just bagged them. They sold in like a day. So I would recommend looking up American Eagle if you shop at the bins or yard sales or something. If it's a bigger or a more standard size, as far as like 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, like in there, the average size that most women are, I feel like. Obviously, not all women are those sizes, but you know what I mean, more popular sizes. I would look up if it's not like a super saturated jegging or something like that. Like this was called the stovepipe. Mom jeans are very hit or miss for me. The flares do good, stuff like that. I never sold stovepipe, so apparently decent. These are like a straight-ish cut. And this is going to La Cruces, New Mexico. I think that's right. Or La Cruces. I don't know. New Mexico. All right, next, this is tiny. This is a little Free People bandeau top. This came from Boutique by the Box, and I actually had $7 into this. I made quite a bit of money back on this stuff already. I probably I would not buy Free People necessarily from Boutique by the Box again. It ends up being lower quality as far as like, not lower quality, but lower MSRP stuff for the most part. Just not worth it for me. And someone sent me an offer for $8. This had been listed quite a while. So I gladly accepted $8 to make back some of my money on this. And it's going to Seattle, Washington. Now, interestingly enough, I sold 2 of the same Madewell hat. And I didn't realize until a little later that they were going to the same person, because one sold on the 18th and one sold on the 19th. So, and it's funny because I may have mentioned one of these in my last Ship With Me video, these Madewell canvas baseball hats. I now have one left. Maybe I'll put this in a bowl mailer. I will go ahead and refund this person the excess shipping. But they paid, so they were on sale for $16.80, and then they used my 13% off coupon. So probably about 12-ish, give or take, per hat. I had $4.28 per hat, and I'm fine with that. And I will just enter this tracking number in for them. This is going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to copy that shipping. As soon as you buy your label, once you print it, there's a place to copy the tracking number. So I'm going to do that. Go back to my orders. And then I'm going to make sure it's the same address. Like I said, oh, okay. So this was probably a bad idea. Apparently, he wanted this or she wanted this to go to different people. But that's okay. What's wrong with Lucas? Okay, thought the baby was hurt, was just inconvenienced, but I put him down for a nap. So I just realized this person, it is the same user, but they must be shipping a hat to friend or something like that. So, tape warning. That's fine. It didn't really change the weight of this one. So this one's going to Pittsburgh. And then this one, we'll put in a different one, is going to Las Vegas. So I'm glad I went ahead and checked that because it was the same buyer, same username. So I'm glad I didn't just blindly do that. I almost did, and then I was having like this nagging sensation because the person didn't message me to like put them together or anything. So glad I listened to that. Like I said, that one's going to Las Vegas. Let's see what else we have here. I think we have 2 sales left. Okay. This I've had a while. It is a pack of 3 makeup bags by the brand Thun, I guess. Thun. I don't know. I got these at a church sale a while ago. I thought they were really cute, but I guess when I got them home, they weren't really worth that much. So someone offered me $7, and I went ahead and accepted that because they have been listed quite a while. And I probably had $1 or 2 into them from a church sale. So definitely not a loss. And all the little sales add up. And these are going to San Antonio, Texas. Sorry for all the disruptions in this video. I guess it kind of is a day in the life because you're seeing what my life is like with 4 kids. And one of them isn't even home. And a dog. Alright, our last item is this pair of Loft high waist straight crop jeans. These came from a horrible Facebook group I used to be in. Well, the group wasn't horrible, but this lot was. And someone offered me $16 for these. I can't remember how much I had into this lot. It was a whole thing. This lady, she first shipped the items. This is a little bit of a story time. She shipped the items and they would never start tracking. I kept messaging her. After a week, she finally went back to the post office and realized that she had shipped them without a shipping label. So thankfully, I did end up getting those, or the post office held them for her. So, that was a relief. But then I get them and I'm missing pieces and everything reeks like cigarette smoke. Like, it wasn't the strongest, knock you down, but it all smelled like cigarette smoke. So I let her know I was missing pieces and things smelled. And she's like, well, it must be your carrier, blah, blah, blah. I can't say anything. I don't know. I've never had anything else smell of cigarette smoke that I've received. So I know my carrier doesn't smoke. I know her. Or at least she doesn't smoke on the job. Anyhow, so after all that, she finally shipped me the thing I was missing. I was trying to open a case on Venmo, but it was a whole mess. But once I finally got everything, I just canceled the case and got on with my life. But that was a long-winded way of saying these sold. I have sold several things from that bundle that were good. I just had to wash everything. And these are going to Pekin, Indiana. So that was a decent couple sales days. My husband's on his way home, so I'm going to run up, make my boys lunch. If my daughter comes home, I will make her lunch too. She may eat with grandma. But what I was hoping to do is make them lunch, make myself lunch, come back down here, photograph, 10 to 15 items, maybe have my husband, he might be busy, but eventually I'll have him help me put away. You can see right there that laundry basket is full of stuff I've bagged and put in my spreadsheet. I just need to put it in the appropriate box and assign it something in my spreadsheet. I don't know what else I want to do today. Like I said, I I don't know. I may take a nap later. My son he's almost 15 months old. He usually sleeps through the night, but the past few nights he's been getting up around 4 a.m. and then needing to have his diaper changed and wanting a bottle of milk. So I don't know. It takes me a while to go back to sleep when he's up for like 30 to 45 minutes and all that, trying to go back to sleep. And he has his crib in our room still. So anyway, I don't know. A nap might be in my future. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Thanks for watching.